Alvarez is a crime reporter and prides herself on being, one of the best in town, got great sources. But one of her sources tips her off to a city council member being a serial killer, and she uses that source and does a story on it. Well, that didn't go over very well, and the city council member, of course, has all sorts of friends in high places, so she gets suspended. So the book opens when she comes back to the newsroom for the first time since her suspension, with the intention of just keeping her mouth shut and doing whatever story they tell her, because her mother was murdered 10 years previous, or her father's dead, and so she's supporting her abuela and her little sister, so she needs to keep her job. So she's gonna be good, right? So she gets assigned a story to go cover a baby sloth's birth at Busch Gardens, which is pretty much a public castration when you're the crime reporter, right? And so she says, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go do it. But as they leave to go do the story, they hear on the scanners that there's been a murder, but not just a murder, it's a murder in her West Tampa neighborhood. So now she's thinking, is it the pharmacist that I go see? Is it the guy who owns the bakery? I mean, she knows everybody in this neighborhood, so she's also closest to it. And as a journalist, you divert to the crime scene and shoot as much as you can before the police get there and put up the yellow crime tape, because then you can't, you have no access. So they are diverted to the crime scene, and then when she gets to the crime scene, it is eerily similar to what happened to her mother. A woman shot in the doorway as she opened the door, laying crumpled in the doorway. So now she's got memories of what happened to her mother. Trauma 10 years ago, and the mother's murder was never solved. So her bosses told her to go cover the baby sloth, don't get out of the car, wait for your replacement to come. But now she's got a murder in her neighborhood that looks eerily similar. And for the first time in 10 years, there may be a clue to what happened to her mother. So do you get out of the car?
Absolutely.
Right, and she did. And of course she wasn't supposed to, and that's the beginning of all the fun and trouble and conflict that ensues. So that's kind of the setup for the story.